Yo, would you know about taking honours, then having to lie? I can't say a man did it. I was in a tea house running up numbers, using a yard watching Harry play cricket.
I finally done it. After looking for a movie or TV show that has the same feel and style as Top Boy, I finally found it with Attack the Block, which is a movie that I've been very interested in doing on this channel. It came out in 2011 and it wasn't a big success at the box office, but it got great reviews from critics and audiences, so much so that it's actually been studied for GCSE film studies. I've tried to review this movie about 2 times on my channel, but then something comes up and I end up not doing it. But upon being recommended this film, I've decided, you know what, let's finally do it and get it out of the way. So there's this street gang from South London led by John Boyega who get attacked by some aliens on Guy Fawkes night and they try to kill them, also trying to gain respect in their neighborhood. A weak plot, but it could still be entertaining, right? Let's just start talking. My biggest problem with cinema nowadays is that we don't often get small scale, low budget, interesting movies anymore. We mostly get the same big budget blockbusters that require a lot of CGI and setup. And I do have props for Attack the Block for being a low budget independent film, but it doesn't mean that just because it's independent doesn't mean it has to be realistic. There are quite a lot of things that aren't very realistic in this film, like for example, this is centered around aliens and I'm not going to lie, despite their designs looking pretty ugly, I do think that it was integrated into the story in a very realistic way. I also like how this movie had a subtle portrayal of black British teens in the UK. In fact, there's one scene where John Boyega's character is discussing how the police are treating black British boys.
You know what I reckon, yeah? I reckon the feds sent them anyway. The government probably bred those creatures to kill black boys. First they sent drugs to the ends, then they sent guns, now they sent monsters to get us. They don't care, man. We ain't killing each other fast enough, so they decided to speed up the process.
Also, to add on to that, I think that John Boyega's performance in the film is actually pretty good. This is actually his first film, and for a first performance, I actually really like it. As a leader of this criminal gang, he shows that he has a confidence, you know, he shows like he knows how to lead these people. And I actually do think that his goal to achieve respect in his neighborhood is actually a pretty good character motivation. I think that this performance is the reason why John Boyega is so successful today and why this movie gets a pretty good cult following. Aside from John Boyega, why is this movie so well remembered today? Because while I don't hate it, I also don't think it's a very pleasant movie to watch. Compared to something like Top Boy or Blue Story, I don't think Attack the Block is a movie that I could see myself rewatching. I mean, the characters are mostly forgettable except for these 2 kids. And while I understand that it's set in night, I do think that the mostly grim visual style of this movie sometimes works but sometimes doesn't. This movie apparently is a sci-fi with combinations of action and comedy, and it has the action and sci-fi, but when it comes to the comedy, I didn't think it was that funny. Not that I wanted it to be funny, it's just that I couldn't tell when they were trying to tell a joke. And I also do think that the fact they try to market this as a teen comedy as well as a sci-fi kind of doesn't make sense. And also, yeah, the visuals in this movie, yeah, they're pretty bad. Probably must have been an intentional idea, but I honestly do think that they're just not that scary as what people want them to be. And sometimes they just come by so quickly that it's really impossible to see them. And to add on to that, I don't think that the visual effects on these creatures are very memorable. So despite this video being made, it doesn't mean that I like this film. Characters are mostly forgettable. The actors except John Boyega don't really give that much of a memorable performance either. To me, I think overall this movie is just forgettable. But as a film overall, I do think that it is a very unique film because it does something that UK hood films don't even do. Like, they have aliens and most of the time it isn't 100% realistic, so props to that. I think that if this movie was a little bit more light-hearted and had much more of an entertainment value, then I think this movie would have been better. But aside from that, I do think that while not great, it's pretty forgettable. I still think that it's a decent time. I don't feel like giving Attack the Block a score this time, but if I did that, it would probably be like a 6 or a 7. But the thing I'll say about this movie is that it's not the best, not the worst. Just check it out and make your own opinion out of it. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for checking this one out, even though it's not great. Sorry for the lack of content, I've just been busy with other stuff, and also coming up with what movie or TV show to talk about is really hard nowadays. But over the summer, I'll try and make some more videos, don't worry, I'll see what I can do. But in the meantime, like, share, comment and subscribe, turn on post notifications. Big up Splash X Prod for the music. Check out his channel, he makes pretty good music, he deserves more subs than me. And I'll catch all of you next time with another video.